Hey everyone, Brandon from Glorious, where we focus on goals, gains, and giveaways. Today we are talking about what is slippage. So this is part of my crypto education series focused on how to do things in the cryptocurrency space, especially for a lot of new people. A lot of my community has been asking questions about how to get started, how do I do this, how do I do that, and I think one of the biggest questions I get is what is slippage, because every time you buy something, a new altcoin on the Binance Smart Chain, it requires you to change the slippage. And people are like, okay, I'm adding this 11%, 18%, but what does this mean? And then noticing at the end, they didn't get as much as they tried to get. So we're going to talk about all that today. As a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys, but let's get on with the video. What is slippage? So here we are. What is slippage? This is actually one of my favorite images. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. If I use this in upcoming presentations, you'll know why. So slippage occurs in all market venues, including equities, bonds, currencies, and futures. So maybe they use a different term, or maybe they refer to it as something else, but slippage, people think that it's just a crypto thing. They think it's just an altcoin thing, but no, indeed, it is relevant to pretty much anything, any type of investing. It's important to know why this happens, when this happens. So hopefully, even though we're learning about cryptocurrency today, and I'm giving you guys some examples that if you come across this term in other avenues, that it'll make sense to you there as well. But also, I think also a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to buy cryptocurrency. It's, the slippage is making me not get exactly what I want. They are saying that, oh, it's unfair. But just know that this happens no matter what you're doing. So slippage refers to the difference between the expected price of a trade and the price at which the trade is executed. So let me repeat that. So slippage refers to the difference between the expected price of a trade. So let's say you're trying to buy something right now for $1, and that's what you're expecting because you're looking at the actual chart, and that's what it is. Have you guys ever noticed when you're looking at maybe different charts, maybe like a PooCoin and some other exchange where the price listed, sometimes the prices aren't exact. And so you're kind of like, well, why aren't these prices the same? Because maybe they refresh at different times, etc. Everyone tries to be as real time as possible, but sometimes what is being displayed isn't the most accurate one. Remember, cryptocurrency is very volatile. Prices are fluctuating with literally possibly with every transaction. So the idea is when you're planning to buy something, obviously, even if it takes like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even takes less than that, that the price could change, right? And sometimes it could take place drastically. And so that's why, and I've said this in a previous video, when I'm talking about strategies and buying and selling, there's never going to be an ideal time to buy or an ideal time to sell, because obviously you want to buy when it's at the very lowest or sell when it's at the very highest. But with things that are, things of systems not updating in real time or updating at that split second, you're never going to be buying it at selling it at the very tip of the top because of fluctuations. Maybe you'll get lucky and do it even if you execute it at the top. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to time everything perfectly. So if you think about slippage, this is the price that you're buying at. It's going to be around it to some variance, but the idea is you're never going to be guaranteed that that's exactly what you can get it for. Because when the price, when it's actually executed, when it actually goes through, it takes a while. When you're going through the process, it's not only on your system putting it through, but the system itself, you're going through PancakeSwap or whatever system, there is some transaction time. And depending on how busy things are, that could affect it as well. So slippage can occur at any time, but is most prevalent during periods of high volatility when market orders are used. right? So maybe a coin just got released, or maybe there's like some news about it. There's a lot of people, trying to buy or sell, just a lot of volatility. So the price is constantly fluctuating. And, like, I think the idea is that it's just you're never going to be able to time it perfectly. So the idea is that slippage percentage is kind of like the variance of like, okay, what you're trying to buy it at. This is how close it's going to be to the price that you want it at, right? So obviously you want slippage percentages. I think with like altcoins, etc., unfortunately you get in the double digits, like 11%, 12%, 30%. Sometimes I've seen some that are like 20%, which is obviously really high, but that's just kind of like how it is and how it works. And you kind of have to get over mentally like, okay, this is how much is going to potentially slip when I'm buying, and then you also have to think that it could potentially be even higher when you're selling. And that's just something that unfortunately is acceptable in the cryptocurrency space. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're making the decision for yourself and taking slippage into account when you're thinking about profits, etc. So and obviously during times of volatility, like I said, when something is happening, a lot of people are buying, a lot of people are selling, that maybe it's just a peak time of the day, that this is, slippage can occur. It also can occur when a large order is executed, but there isn't enough volume at the chosen price to maintain the current bid-ask spread. So, like I said, a lot of different factors that you have to expect. And the idea is that you can't predict these things, right? Like, you're gonna make the decision that best fits what you're doing. And for me, how I do it is I don't want to get caught up too much into the slippage percentage, etc. It is what it is. They usually, when you look at an altcoin project, they'll tell you exactly what the slippage is. Like, in order to buy this altcoin, in PancakeSwap, click the little button, set the slippage to 11%, and I kind of just do it now, because the idea is like, well, if I'm doing it, everyone else has to do it too. So it's kind of just like the game where you have to get in. Like, this is what I have to get in at. There is no other option. As long as everyone else is subject to this as well, I feel better about it. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it would be nice if this would get improved. And I think there's other projects out there, and I've talked about a couple of projects in the past that are trying to build platforms that reduce the slippage. But if you're using the most wide-known PancakeSwap, I think on average the slippage is 11%. So just take that into account when you're actually doing this. But that's essentially it. Like I said, I know that slippage sometimes can be pretty harsh, and I think that obviously when you're buying to a project, take that into account. And like I said, every project is different, but just something that you just really need to plan for and strategize for, especially when selling. That if you are going to sell, sometimes I've had to sell stuff that I had to set the slippage to 30%, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm making profit and I'm able to sell it at a reasonable amount, then overall I'm happy. So it's just kind of a aspect of this whole cryptocurrency trading business. So let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you had any tips or tricks about slippage in general, maybe some slippages that you've seen, maybe anything slippage related. Maybe you've come from something other than cryptocurrency and maybe you have some stories to tell. But let me know in the comments what you think. But hopefully this is helpful. And remember, always follow the process on the website. Always follow a strategy that you've put in place, and do your best and try to pick the right time to buy. But you're never going to be perfect, and I think that's okay. So thanks everyone for watching. Catch you guys next time.